Have you ever been talking to a chatbot and felt this weird spark of understanding? It's a strange feeling, right? Well, today, we are diving deep into the world of emotional AI. This is technology that's not just processing your words anymore. It's actually trying to understand your feelings. It's already quietly reshaping everything, from how you get customer support to how we approach mental health care. So, what happens when our technology starts to feel? Let's kick things off with a number it's almost impossible to wrap your head around. 1.6 billion. That is the estimated number of people on this planet who need some form of behavioral health support. This isn't just a dry statistic, it's a global crisis of need. And it really sets the stage for why technology is being asked to step in. And here's the harsh reality behind that 1.6 billion figure. You see, with only about 2.5 million clinicians available worldwide, the numbers just don't work. The system is stretched way past its breaking point. Wait lists are getting longer, and honestly, countless people are just falling through the cracks. This is the critical gap that emotional AI is being designed to fill. So, how exactly is technology stepping into this gap? We're now seeing the rise of a totally new kind of support system, and this one isn't built on human clinicians, but on incredibly complex algorithms designed to understand and respond to our emotional states. This is the core idea. It's got a fancy name: affective computing, or what most of us just call emotional AI. But think of it this way. We are trying to teach machines the art of empathy. The goal isn't just for them to hear your words, but to detect the feelings behind them, and then adapt their response. It's all about creating a much more human, much more nuanced interaction. And this isn't science fiction. It's happening right now. You've got companies like Limbic and Wobot Health offering AI-powered tools as a first line of support for mental health. In the customer service world, Cogito's AI listens in on calls to help agents sound more empathetic. And we're also seeing it pop up in personalized education apps and even tools designed to help us track our own emotional well-being. Okay, so this is the part that sounds a little bit like magic. The big question is, how does this actually work? How can a machine, a piece of code, learn to read something as complex and as human as an emotion? It really boils down to a three-step process. First, the system has to collect data. That could be your facial expression from a camera, the tone of your voice, or the words you type. Then it uses these complex algorithms to analyze all that data, looking for emotional cues. And finally, it interprets those cues to classify an emotion like joy, surprise, or anger. To pull all this off, the AI relies on two incredibly powerful tools. First, you have computer vision, which acts as its eyes, analyzing our facial expressions and body language. At the very same time, natural language processing, or NLP, acts as its ears, dissecting not just the words we use, but the tone and the sentiment behind them. You put those two together, and the AI starts to build this picture of our emotional state. Now, this all sounds incredibly powerful, and it is. But, and this is a huge but, there's a major problem lurking just beneath the surface, a really dangerous blind spot in how these systems are actually built. And this brings us to the most crucial question of all. When an AI looks at a human face or listens to a human voice, what is it truly seeing? Is it seeing a universal human emotion? Or is it just seeing a reflection of its own limited training? This quote right here gets straight to the heart of the ethical dilemma. AI becomes an inadvertent amplifier of societal prejudices. See, because these systems learn from the world as it is, they risk baking in our existing biases and then serving them right back to us, but at a massive scale. So, where does the problem start? It starts with the data itself. Most of these emotional AI systems are trained on datasets that are overwhelmingly Western and English-speaking. What that does is create an AI that is culturally short-sighted. It learns to interpret emotions through this one, very narrow cultural lens, and it can easily misinterpret expressions from people who just don't fit that specific mold. And here you can see the fundamental trade-off we're stuck with. The most common methods, like analyzing faces and voices, often really struggle with cultural sensitivity. Why? Because, a smile in one culture might mean something totally different in another. But the methods that try to gather more data to be more culturally aware, well, they can create some really serious privacy concerns. It's a very difficult balancing act. And let's be super clear, this isn't just some technical glitch. No way. This has profound real-world consequences. A direct communication style might get flagged as aggressive. An emotionally reserved person could be misdiagnosed as depressed. And this can lead to wrongful denials in hiring, unfair performance reviews, or even inequitable access to healthcare. So, with such deep-seated flaws, what's the path forward? How can we possibly design a kinder, more equitable, and genuinely helpful emotional AI? The path forward really starts with rebuilding the very foundation of this technology. We need to feed these systems a much richer diet of data, one that's truly diverse and representative of a huge range of cultures, ages, and backgrounds. We need to bring in the human experts, the psychologists, anthropologists, and sociologists to guide the development. And above all, we have to be transparent with users about what these algorithms can and cannot do, while fiercely protecting their privacy. Ultimately, the key takeaway is this: ethics can't be an afterthought. It can't be a patch you add on later. It has to be woven into the very code of these systems right from the start. It is the only way we can build these powerful tools so that they truly serve everyone, fairly and equitably. And so, we're left with this final, challenging question to chew on. As we race to build AI that understands the human heart, are we also destined to teach it our own biases and our own flaws? The answer to that question will not only define the future of this technology, but perhaps our own.